We're going to start off with last night's football. The Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin was controversially sent off in his side's 0-0 ball during the FA Cup. Away at Palace, it was live on talkSPORT. Both Palace boss Roy Hodgson and the Toffees gaffer Sean Dyche reacted to the decision after the game.
When it comes to the tackle, I think that's a question of, certainly if you go back a few years, a challenge like that probably wouldn't have been regarded necessarily as a red card challenge. But today, and I think with a straight leg and where you're throwing yourself in and there's a suggestion of a bit more force than is necessary, you run the risk. I certainly wouldn't be screaming at the referee to give a red card in that situation, but that's the way the game has gone.
And all this screen thing, oh my goodness, every fan in the country, surely I'm not just speaking for myself, it can't be, surely. Every fan was going, oh, why are we killing the game and the speed of it? When you go to that screen, we all know what's going to happen. So anyway, it's a massive frustration to me, and I'm a fan of VR, but I just don't see what that's all about.
Sean Dyche could easily go into dark calling, couldn't he? His voice is amazing. All right, Ryan, we get it. We get it, Ryan. We get it, Ryan. Yeah.
That last bit at the end.
Sean Dyche's voice is just magnificent, isn't it?
He could be a bad in any film.
Yeah, he really could. What did you make of it? Sean Dyche goes into a challenge, he slides in, his studs are up. It's a slide-in challenge. There's no contact there whatsoever. Nathaniel Klein is on the receiving end, if you can have a receiving end of a challenge like that. Referee said nothing about it at all, then was told to go and look at it on his monitor, had another look, and then thought, actually, dangerous play.
That's them hiding behind. That's like them hiding behind the red tape, isn't it? Where by the letter of the law, he's got to go. But come on, common sense. At some point, I want to see a referee use a bit of common sense and go, do you know what? I know he's a little bit high.
They can't. They're not allowed to use common sense. There are rules.
But that's what's killing the game. Then.
I know, but you're right. But there are rules. He can't go. I know what the rules say. I know you can't go in. Foot up, danger. I know that. No one
can say that. Looking at that challenge, it's a red card. And that referees, I know they're interpreted by high foot, maybe out of control and all that. But you look at that challenge and you go, in any stretch of the imagination, that's not a foul. It's not a red card. Like it's not. It's just not. Regardless where his foot is, I don't even think he makes that much contact.
Let me ask you this.
Leg.
In your world, right? And I agree with everything you've said so far. In your world, should a player get sent off for what looks like a dangerous play, but no contact is made?
No, because I think there's got to be contact.
There's got to be contact.
It's like me going. So me and I'm playing against you.
Yeah.
And I throw a punch at you, but I don't hit you.
Yeah.
I can't get sent off for that.
Oh, you can?
No, but I've got to hit you.
Oh, thanks very much.
So I've got to hit you, haven't I?
No, I think you're wrong.
No, and if I just throw my hand like that and don't make any contact whatsoever, that's not a red card.
There's intent.
It's 10, but it's not. There's got to be contact.
So if I go to headbutt you and I miss,
and I move out the way,
you don't think I should get sent off for danger?
No, you've not hit me. But if you touch me and I go down, fair enough. But in that instant there, there's no way on the planet anyone could see that that's a red card. You're just hiding behind. Common sense at some point has got to be used in VAR. You can't keep going by the letter of law, because that's what's killing people and infuriating people.
Okay, I agree with everything you said, right? But the problem is, as soon as you give more power to the referees, so it's down to interpretation even more, I think then you're going to open the door up for more problems. I agree with you, right? And the referee should look at that and go, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, lads, but no.
Do you know how much?
Right? But he can't do that.
Well, he can, because when he goes to the screen, the amount of respect more from he'd get from everyone else by going over to the screen and going, nah.
I know, but you know, do you remember the famous game not too long ago where Liverpool went to Spurs and they scored a goal and they had to, what was it? They didn't pull it back.
They forgot to draw the line.
Okay, right. Because the game was continuing, right? They couldn't then stop it and go, actually, you got to go back to that, right?
They've changed that rule though.
No, at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now everyone was saying, why can't you do it? And everyone, including who's the referee that sits on the bench at Sky Sports? What's his name?
My man,
famous one, Mike
Dean.
Right? Mike Dean was saying, I hear what you're saying, but the letter of the law says you can't do it. So even though the referee might think, right, common sense tells me I've got to stop the game, because the letter of the law says you can't, he can't do that.
No,
right? Now I agree with what you're saying, but if the letter of the law is you can't go into a challenge like that, sliding in, not in control of your body with studs up, I don't agree with this, but if that's what the letter of the law is, then sadly the referee is left with no option but to show a red card.
Okay, but what's the worst that could happen?
I agree with you.
He goes to the screen and goes, nah, not for me. They're not going to sack him because everyone else around the country would go, that's a disgrace.
I know, but you need to have every rule written down because as soon as the referee starts making his own judgment, that someone could go, oh, well, look at that ref. He says that
the amount of peer pressure, I guarantee you, after that challenge, Hodgson wouldn't have gone crazy at the end of the game and going, it should have been a red card, because he would have said he probably wouldn't even have brought it up. And my problem is, if the ref had gone to the screen and gone, nah, play on, but no one else would have said he's made it wrong there.
I know, but what happens if in a few weeks' time you get a decision similar to that, right? And then a manager goes, by the letter of the law, he should have been sent off, but the referee decided not to. Then what happens? By the letter of the law.
Everyone would go, no, absolutely not. I think you're under more pressure, and you put yourself under even more pressure by giving these type of decisions because you're hiding behind red tape.
I know, if
the referee had gone over to the screen and just gone, do you know what? No, it's not for me, and played on, we'd all be sitting on this show today and previous shows and gone, well played, referee.
No, I know we would. But
so I'd rather that than Howard Webb go.
Let me ask you this: if you're doing 80 miles an hour in your car illegally, right, and you get pulled over by the police, and he goes, "Oh, Benny, how are you? Oh, listen, Benny, listen, be careful next time." Okay, no problem. Off you go.
Yeah.
And then producer Joe is driving home tomorrow night doing 80, and the police pull him over and go 8 miles an hour. Boom. Right, you get a fine, 3 points.
Yeah.
He will say, well, by the letter of the law, you should be done as well.
Well, that's his fault.
But what I'm saying is, the copper has made that decision. And because the fact it's written down, right, the rules of how fast you can travel, the copper doesn't have to make that call. So you'll get nicked and he'll get nicked. Irrelevant of who does what.
Yeah, but that's different.
No, I don't think it is different.
It is different. I genuinely think common sense has to prevail. Like
I'd love to agree. I just don't think that can happen.
It can happen. It has to happen, because at the minute it's appalling. So would you rather a game where a referee can kind of do what he needs, or he hides behind red tape and we get these type of decisions?
I hear everything you're saying, but I think as soon as you give the referee... You thought it was a red, though. What?
You thought it was a red.
By the letter of the law. I put on the text, by the letter of the law. That's the problem we've got.
No. See, for me, that there's no...
I don't agree it was a red. But by the letter of the law, it was, sadly.
I've seen more challenges, worse challenges than that, and my son's team on a Sunday morning, and nothing happened. Yeah.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.